that, okay, the player might still be into the cover because it's the top of the ridge. Nobody's going to be pushing forward, because if they do, they're instantly going to be spotted down. But Yoru, he's still cooking those grenades. He's throwing it up randomly in hopes to get any kind of connection, but a grenade did come close to him. He's lucky enough to survive so far, but 9 total teams, out of which I can already see five teams in the single northeastern corner.
That is going to be a pretty hot and pressured position to play from, but it's going to be Boom Esports trying to hold on. They do succeed as they take down Talon and managing to hold on to all 4 the players. But for how much longer will they be able to do that, as the rush is going to come through? There we have it. BTR now moving into position, looking to capitalize. BRX also getting absolutely packed on up. Off they go. So the numbers starting to crumble. We only have 7 teams left. It's still going to be Boom. Oh, beautiful play there from Kent. Coming in with a drop shot, just making it so difficult here for Boom Esports to hold on. Now, as you can see, A1, they're going to be starting to ride that ridge as well. Trying to sneak in, come in behind a very wounded and battered BTR. And now with the final 6 teams, it is still essentially anyone's game to take here.
I mean, this is still... It's still these 6 teams' chances to secure the winner a chicken dinner. And out of all of these teams, not even a single one has got a decent number of eliminations throughout this whole 3 matches journey that we have witnessed so far. Is Vampire Esports that's alive with the 4-man squad. The rest of them, it's a trio, it's a duo, and yeah, there's no solo whatsoever.
Well, the nice thing about the hovercraft is at least you're not as vulnerable as you are in the cards, right? Even though you can still get whipped out of it, as you've mentioned earlier. But now, Sem9, they don't have the luxury of a hovercraft for the rest of the rotation, right? They're going to have to opt for a vehicle as they move on forward. Manpa taking so much damage. Uhigh quickly just peeling out of the car, trying to hop on in. As we do see Sem9 taking occupancy of a good centralized compound. One of the only few left in the zone. Void Donkey, though, they're going to be holding over towards that eastern side. But the west is where the pressure will be. It's going to be Vampires now looking to get themselves situated as they come pushing on forward. E-Arena going to be the first squad now looking to welcome them on in. Let's see, will they be able to get the job done? Are they going to be welcoming them in with warm barrels, or will the Vampire Esports squad get the jump on them? Of course, Vampire is now doing a good job this time around, coming through with those 4 eliminations, essentially doubling their points that they came into this match with. But are they going to be able to push it all the way to potentially maybe even that top 3, looking for even more? A1 being an absolute menace, also then coming through from that northern side. I like the contention and the pressure that these teams are applying on each other. But now, look at this though. Mueller going to try and use the vehicle to get a good lay of the land, looking into that top window. Meanwhile, Void Donkey going to try and fend off BTR as they continue to push. So much pressure coming in here.
Biggotron by Vitality. Biggotron by Vitality. 7 elimination, close to Void Donkeys. And no connection whatsoever so far. But E-Arena versus Vampire. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. The grenade from the BTR actually connected towards the Void Donkeys as well. Now the circle's closing on. You have to push. You have to go. Potato is the final hope for the team. And Void Donkeys is Potato. He's going to throw the grenade. It's definitely going to hit a lot. It's going to do a damage, but not enough to get the player out. In fact, it's going to fuel Fedralis' urges to push, and he pushes. Gets that elimination. We're in the top 5, ladies and gentlemen, with 9 elimination at the arsenal, at the disposal of Biggotron by Vitality. There's a Vampire Esports fighting with E-Arena. A1 making their entry against Vampire Esports as well with the grenade. They managed to secure a knockdown. It's a confirmation. In fact, it's a second knockdown on Vampire's player, as Winner J, he gets finished off by just getting eliminated with his HP being knocked out. The second one gets a finisher. The third one, last of the Vampire, also gets a finisher. A1, this is the 3rd elimination that they're going to have, but BTR, Sem9 with 9 eliminations and 3 players alive. E-Arena with 4 eliminations, 3 players alive. It's definitely a potential of a 3 versus 3 versus 3 that can actually commence, but A1, A1 also has like 3 eliminations and 3 man standing. It's a standoff of 4 different teams, equilibrium of 4 different teams, 3 versus 3 versus 3 versus 3. At this point, A1 pushing forward, Arena in the front lines, Terimakasih dodging his bullets, going into the back. Grenade is being cooked. He's finally out of the house. In fact, but another one comes in straight on his face, gets that as 12K connected, and with this, now potentially A1 is down to the 2, down to the 1, and the solo guy, he's just chilling, he's just thrown down into the back lines, and that is CJ Boy. CJ Boy, you have to do something, but Arena, this is a decent number of points that they're gonna finally have for themselves. A1 pushing on, close in, 1897 getting a connection, and A1 out of the match. 3 versus 3 versus 3, 9 elimination, Sem9, 9 elimination BTR, and 7 for Team Arena.
Well, so far it does seem like Sem9 and BTR do have a slight bit of an advantage. Arena now managing to bring their third player back into the fight, but they are outside of the zone. They need to find a way in. It's going to be Mormon, the next one to get dropped on down. It's going to be Firen opening the play onto NC2, and now Arena down to a solo. Terimakasih going to try and hold on, maybe apply a little bit of that pressure. Get a little bit more aggressive now onto the side of Mormon. Want to get that res in. Make sure that they have 2 players at least to move forward in this fight. But BTR, they're not going to sit around and wait. They're going to start to just apply themselves onto the edge of zone. Uhigh, though, is going to be the one to snag that finish. As we now see Sem9 up to 10 elims. BTR get the other elims. So both squads now sitting here with double digits and 3 players left to defend. So talk about a fair battleground. This is exactly what we are going to be looking at. But Sem9 don't need to get the whole squad into the zone. I mean, Kent, though, for BTR, has a very secure position all the way towards that eastern side of zone.
I mean, I love this, how Arena got divided by these 2 teams. BTR was like, I'm gonna have 1 elimination. Sem9 is also like, yeah, I'm gonna have the other one. And with this, Arena was just out of the proximity of the game. We're down to the top 2, 3 versus 3. Sem9 in the compounds, Bigatron by Vitality having the upper ground, but 8th stage closing on, 48 meters outside you are, Pedralis. Mulby is going to be taken down. Firen is going to instantly decimate the guy. He has been fully finished off. Adral is also spotted. It's a knockdown, and down to the last guy they go. And it is. And I think, from what I can assume, Kent's location is also like completely revealed out. So he can only manage to maybe get 1 elimination, 2 elimination maximum, but it is looking a very great win of a chicken enough for the Sem9's as player. Behind the rock that they are, throwing grenades, coming up, it's coming, the grenade's coming, not any connection. The second one closes up, it's definitely going to be a damage. A Molotov on its way as well. Oh my god, the situation is going so intense. Grenade on the face, and there we have it. Uhigh getting the final grenade in the coffin and getting everything decimated for the team, getting the win of an Ushikinner. It is